guys, Williams back here again. I'm here with another video, and this is my top 5 guest characters I want for Mortal Kombat 11. And without further ado, let's get on to the list with number 5, Terminator. Now, you guys might be wondering, why am I asking for Terminator? Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, apparently during Mortal Kombat X, I think there was rumors that he was actually supposed to be in it, but I don't know. I guess something happened. I don't really know. But nevertheless, I think it's safe to say that Terminator is one of the most requested guest characters, and if they do bring back the variations, I think his gameplay could be pretty damn easy, especially with think about it. He can, like, one could be where he relies on maybe the guns, one could be where he uses like maybe his plasma rifle, and then one could be where he just relies on his fists. Maybe that could work. And also too, again, he has been somewhat requested, not as much as the other characters that I'm gonna get to on this list, but I think it's safe to say that he's been requested a good amount of time. I know I kind of messed this up, but yeah, so I really do think that Terminator should be in the game. And again, because he was actually rumored for the last one, I don't see why not. But nevertheless, though, yeah, I do believe Terminator should be in this game, man. Who knows? Maybe it could happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, yes, Terminator, I won in the game. Number 4, Michael Myers. Now, if you guys already know, we've already gotten the 2 iconic horror characters in Mortal Kombat, but we're still missing the third one, and of course, Michael. Now, if you guys remember, we got Freddy in MK9, we had Jason in MKX, and we even had Leatherface in MKX. Now, although I wasn't entirely mad at it, I do believe Michael should have been in that spot, especially, I don't remember seeing a single person requesting for Leatherface, but who knows? Now, I think just like Terminator, there were rumors for him to show up, and actually he was supposed to be in there, but if you guys don't remember, the Halloween movie actually did get canceled around that time period. So that's probably why they felt like they didn't need him. Because again, if the movie's getting canceled, then why even bother? But think about it though. The game is coming out next year. And if you guys remember, now if you guys don't know this, usually when NetherRealm adds a character, they usually do it to help promote things. For example, when they added in Hellboy and Injustice, that was their way of promoting the reboot coming out next year. When they added Raiden, that was like around the 25 years of Mortal Kombat. And when they added Black Lightning, that was to help promote the Black Lightning TV show. So not all the time, but sometimes whenever they do these, when they add these characters, they sometimes do it to help promote other things. And hey, the Holly movie is coming out this year, so why not add in Michael? And I think that would be a good way to help promote the movie. But then again, some people might say that that's a little weird, considering that the movie's coming out first. But then again, who really cares? I think that would still help. I think it could still be good marketing. But nevertheless, though, and also too, when you think about his gameplay, it could be very similar to Jason. Like, the way how they gave Jason powers, they might just do that with Michael. But who knows? And if they wanted to, they could give him some fatalities that, like, it could be a little reference to the movies, like they did with Predator, Alien, Freddy, Jason, Leatherface. If you guys have not noticed it, some of their fatalities, they are references to their own movies, so their own respected films. So with Michael, I don't know. That could be a tough challenge. I don't really know exactly how his fatalities would work. But nevertheless, I do believe Michael should show up. Now, I'm not going to lie with you. There are actually two other characters on this list, or 2 horror characters I do believe have a better chance. But I would still like to see Michael. I think he deserves his place, especially, again, when you look at the 3 main horror iconic characters being Jason, Freddy, and Michael. We've already gotten 2 of them, and we're really just missing the third one. So, will he show up? Who really knows? But nevertheless, though, I think he would be a great character to see, and we'll see what happens. So, Michael, I think, deserves to be in the game. Number 3 on my list is Spawn. Now, this should not be a big surprise, considering how many people actually want this guy. Now, I can definitely understand why this guy is requested. I mean, hell, I was one of the few people that actually did want Spawn in MKX, and here's a big reason why I feel like he has the best chance, really, out of every character that's on this list. If you guys don't remember, he was actually rumored and teased a lot in MKX, but of course, it did not happen. And I was very, very certain that he was going to show up in Injustice 2. Again, same thing, the hints and teases, and I really, really believe that he was going to show up, but again, nothing. So do I think for a single second that they're saving him for MK11? I don't know. I really do believe it's possible, but at this point, who really knows? Now, considering his moveset, I really do believe his moveset could be extremely distinguished from other for pretty much almost the entire roster, especially with his I think with his moveset, I think it could be really unique and he could stand out, especially again if they do bring back the variations. Think about this. One could be where he uses his powers, one could be where he uses guns, and one could be where he uses the Letha outfit. I don't know, it might be a stretch, but I think it could work. I think Spawn definitely deserves his place in MK11, especially considering that Todd McFarlane granted them permission to use him. So if this is the third strike, then who knows? Maybe their chances will eventually be gone, like thrown out the door, and Todd McFarlane will pretty much just take away their chances. So if they bail out again, or if they ruin their chances again, it's gonna be a huge disappointment. So not having Spawn, I think, is a big mistake. But I mean, just think about it. I mean, again, his fatalities could be really unique. Now, I'm really glad that he was not in Injustice 2 because, again, having a crazy character like this in Injustice in a DC game where nobody supposedly kills, I just don't think it would work. That's why I feel like the Turtles worked perfect in Injustice. And I'm not gonna lie, I still believe Hellboy should have been used for MK, but hey, I mean, you can't let MK have all the fun, right? So, but nevertheless, though, I think Spawn's gameplay and his moveset and his fatalities and whatever else, I think it could be great. And again, like Michael, Spawn will be getting a new movie next year, apparently. So again, that would be good promotion for the movie. Add in Spawn and MK11, and again, that's good marketing. So that's pretty much it for Spawn. I do believe that he has a pretty big chance. Again, especially them leaving him out back to back. I really don't see them doing that a third time. So I think Spawn deserves his spot in the game. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But nevertheless, though, I do want Spawn in the game. And again, I think his chances are pretty high at this point. So will he be in the game? Will NetherRealm finally have him in Mortal Kombat 11? We'll see what happens. Number 2 on my list is Pennywise. Now, this should not be a surprise at all, considering I've seen millions and millions of YouTubers when they talk about who they want. It mostly consists of Spawn and Pennywise. Now, why Pennywise? Well, let's think about this. So, of course, the remake came out last year, which was a big success, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And again, like Spawn and Michael, Pennywise is getting a sequel next year. So again, having him in Mortal Kombat again would be good promotion for the sequel. But in general, I just think he would be extremely badass. I mean, just think about it. Think about his dialogue with Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Raiden, and whoever else is going to show up in this game. And if you think about it, his gameplay, I don't know. It could be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's unpredictability at this point for Pennywise. Like, I do not know how his gameplay would work, let alone his freaking fatalities and brutalities or whatever else they're going to bring back. It's really hard to tell what they'll do with Pennywise if they do add him in the game. And again, just picturing his dialogue, I think it would just be perfect. I think it would be great. And again, honestly, just everything about Pennywise, I just think would be great in Mortal Kombat. And again, his fate, and like I said with Michael, if they wanted to, his fatalities could be references to the movie, whether it's the 1990 version or the 2017 version, And again, and hell, his dialogue, it could also be references. Like he could reference the Losers Club, or really, like, again, the possibilities are endless for Pennywise. So I think he deserves his spot in this game. And again, I've looked everywhere. I go on YouTube or whatever, and I see everybody talking about who they want, and Pennywise pops up everywhere. So, and again, if they don't want to get Bill Skarsgård to come back to voice the character, or Tim Curry, then just get someone that sounds like him. Just get somebody that sounds like him. I mean, clearly they couldn't get Ron Perlman to come back to voice Hellboy, so they got someone else. And I think that guy did a pretty good job. So why not do the same with Pennywise? And again, guys, his gameplay, fatalities, it's really unpredictable. I really do not know how his gameplay would work, but I know for a fact that this would be one of the best things that NetherRealm could ever pull. So Pennywise, I think, deserves his spot in this game. And again, with the sequel coming out next year, again, good marketing. So, Pennywise, I want to see in Mortal Kombat 11. And number 1, Ash Williams. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, out of all characters that I want to see, why is Ash on my list as number 1? Well, let's think about this. Now, for one thing, it's not just me, guys. I've seen many and many fans request this guy for many good reasons, considering that, again, the character has a long history in terms of like just being one of the most badass fictional characters ever. And again, it's not anything new. This guy's been talked about for a long ass time. I mean, hell, people even when I think he was even requested for Mortal Kombat 9. And of course, he wasn't as requested as other characters like Spawn and Michael and Jason and Predator from Mortal Kombat X, but he was still somewhat requested. Even when Kombat Pack 3 was going around, it was a rumor, but even when it was still talked about, he did pop up a couple of times. So Ash Williams, I do believe, should be. It's a must. I mean, it's basically a must for Ash in this game. Now, I really only have one type of evidence, or really one type, a little bit of proof that Ash could show up. Now, hopefully I can show this. But if you guys don't remember, way back in 2011, there was an interview with Ed Boon, and someone pretty much asked him, like, how did it feel adding in Freddy Krueger and all this, blah, 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 blah. How did it feel adding Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat 9? And then he asked him, like, can we see Jason in Mortal Kombat X, the next one? And then he brought up Ash Williams, and then this is what Ed Boon had to say.
You know what to do. Ash and Jason. Come on, so just say Ash and Jason for the next one. Come on, give it.
Ash and Jason for the next one.
Ah, see? Exclusive. Ash and Jason for the next one.
So you guys saw it right there. He said Ash and Jason for the next one. Now, we got Jason, but there was no Ash. So my theory is maybe, just maybe, they could be saving Ash for Mortal Kombat 11. Now, do I think it was a good thing to leave him out? Kind of, because then if it would have been both of them, it would have been way too predictable. But I think now's the time. I think now's the time for Ash to show up, especially with the conclusion of the Ash vs. Evil Dead series on Stars. I think this is a good way for Bruce Campbell. Now, even though he said he's done playing the character, he never said anything about like voicing him. So imagine if they were to add in Ash, they could just get Bruce Campbell back to voice the character. Or if not, then sadly, maybe get someone that sounds like him. So hopefully he shows up. And again, his dialogue, he could literally have the best dialogue in the entire game. I mean, him talking again, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Liu Kang. I think it would be great. I think he would have the funniest moments in the game. And again, his fatalities could be pretty damn top notch. He could have, and of course, let's not forget, maybe even after his fatality, he can just go up with a good old groove. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really, or those are my thoughts on why Ash is my number one choice. Do I think he's got a good chance? I think he has a good chance. Not great. I feel like other characters like Spawn have a better chance. But I want to see him. I think he would be perfect. So those are pretty much it. That's my list of the top 5 guest characters I want. Now, I will be having another list on the... Now, this will be a top 10 list. And it'll be the top 10 Mortal Kombat characters I want from Mortal Kombat 11. It doesn't matter if I want them on the main roster or DLC. They are just going to be characters that I want to see in the game. Again, whether main roster or DLC. So it will be a top 10 video. Alright, guys? So stay tuned for that. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to see in terms of guest characters? Who do you want to see in Mortal Kombat 11? Again, my list consists of Terminator, Michael, Spawn, Pennywise, and Ash. Will they show up? We'll see. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who do you want and all that good stuff. So be sure to click that notification button. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And until then, REKLEZ Rich signing out.